What's up, world? This is WeNeeda5th. This your man Mo. Got my man P in the building. Got my man Hill in the building.
Stats on the back.
Fellas, it feels like forever since the last time we met, but since then, NCAA championships have been decided, and I'm really shocked. I was telling P as we were walking into the studio, you guys got the women's college championship right in picking Uconn.
Well, if you paid more attention to women's basketball, you would know these things.
Yeah.
And I got it right on the men's side. You know, who would have known?
We have no clue about the men.
We don't watch that. I only watch women's basketball.
What you want to do, ladies first?
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about UConn. I gotta admit, I stopped believing in Paige. That's one of the main reasons why I didn't pick UConn. I didn't pick UConn to make it to the championship game. But Paige Beckers and that UConn team proved me wrong.
She was hurt last year. So barring her injury, I think UConn would have made a nice run last year, and she gutted through it. We went over this. I'm not going to pat myself on the back. I think Paige is better than Caitlin. Her inside game, her pull-up game. Caitlin's a better shooter, but Paige better player. So for me, I'm curious in the Paige Juju matchup. That's what I missed.
Yeah.
So shout out to I love her game. It's two things. I didn't think that this was one of South Carolina's best team.
No.
Coupled with a hungry Paige and a hungry Gino. Like, he did not let up. Like, he remember last year, he was hearing the whole thing of, hey, listen, the throne is going, it's Dawn's, which eventually it might be. But I'm still here. You know what I mean? And so, I mean, he's the best player. He's the best coach college in women's college basketball. And I think he wanted to, solidify that, why it is.
And you kind of lead into something else I wanted. Were you surprised that it was such a decisive victory?
No.
No.
Yeah, like he said, to me, Paige, like I said it on a previous episode, she's my second favorite player behind Juju.
Mm-hmm.
She beat Juju last year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people don't remember that. And I think this is like her fourth Final Four. So it's not like, this shouldn't be the biggest surprise in the world. If she's healthy, she gets to the Final Four. That's what it is. I think Connecticut had, at the very least, two of the best players on the court were on Connecticut. So, of course, I don't expect South Carolina to get blown out just because they're South Carolina. But looking at the talent, in retrospect, it's not that big of a surprise.
And we talked about, we talked about Fudd going dormant.
Yeah.
And then in the semifinal game, she caught fire. And then in the final game, she got her confidence back and went great. Like, you have potentials on that team outside of, to me, who was the best standout player in the tournament.
And Sarah Strong had a really good game, solid game.
Yeah, when I said
super
top
fresh,
two, Strong was, to me, the second best player out there.
Mm-hmm.
With all due respect to Fudd, who might have been the third. So they might have had the three best players out there. With all due respect to all the talent that South Carolina has. But, yeah.
Last thing on the women's game. After UConn wins the championship, Gino is talking to a crowd, and he's talking about their trip to the actual game and how, they had alumni getting on the bus, and you say, like, Lobo has one, Stewie got three, you know what I mean? And he's like, and he was insinuating, hey, in some places you get one and you get a statue, and here, hey, you get one and you can't get to the front of the bus. It's just different levels to
to this winning stuff.
Yeah.
He literally said that, a statue?
Yeah.
Is that not a South Carolina AJ Wilson shot?
Maybe.
It may be.
That's only what I know.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know. This is the first time me hearing that. Interesting.
He didn't say it out loud like
Insinuated.
that, but that was an insinuation. Do y'all have any issues with him saying that?
No. No.
It's that I think his expectations is why they're great. That if you go to it's the Lakers or the Yankees. You don't win a championship, the year was a failure.
But do you appreciate the petty?
Yes, I do, because I like competition.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like Pat Summitt wasn't like that. People didn't like the way Pat Summitt was. Pat and Gino were going at it back and forth.
Yeah,
I think the pettiness is a byproduct of what you said, that competitive.
Yeah,
and I'm all here for it. To your point, Hill, I miss the old days of Pat and Gino going at it, and them having legitimate chips on the board. Like, hey, yeah, I'm the one that won the last championship, or my team is just went undefeated and won the chip. I'm all here for it, and I think South Carolina, they're going to be up to the task, and they're going to give Gino a run for his money. So because I don't think Doran is done winning championships.
And I like the fact for both coaches that, one, Gino didn't let up, and two, Gino didn't let up. So Dawn is going to have some type of fight to come back with next year, and then you get in the game. But this was 2 games this year they got drugged over 30.
Yeah. But it kind of shows the effect of the success of their program. They've had multiple number 1 draft picks going into the WNBA, and but so much time before that starts to catch up to you. And especially with transfer portal adding an almost free agency type of vibe to college sports now. So, but like I said, I think Dawn Staley in South Carolina is going to be up to the challenge, and they'll be back on top sooner or later.
And Paige is one of those basketball players where I won't mind her playing wherever she plays, because I just like the way she plays basketball. So, you know what I'm saying? I could follow her. I would prefer her to stay in college because I just think it's a better product. But again, that's just one star that I'll just watch.
Let's go on the other side. Men's tournament. Florida versus Houston. This was a lot closer game. I'm going to be honest, fellas. Beginning of the game, as someone that predicted that Florida was going to win, I was a little concerned. Because Houston came out like gangbusters in that first half. And it really looked like they had Florida's number. I know you guys watched the game. What did you guys think?
I thought Kelvin Sampson had a good defensive plan for both games, the semifinal game. Well, the semifinal game with the last 4 minutes. Because I thought Duke was able to get everything they wanted up until the last 4 minutes, and they began to clamp down. I think Houston played a great first half. And just, I guess maybe the irony, the last 4 minutes, they crumbled. So, again, I thought it was and I said it again, I thought it was a prototypical emotional NCAA championship game with no stars.
Okay. I want to kind of rewind back. You brought up Houston's game against Duke. I don't think we've had a chance to talk about that game. A lot of people say, hey, coaching kind of let
Shia had a bad 4 minutes. Yeah.
Coaching kind of let Duke down. Do you agree with that? At the last 4 minutes of the game?
Well, coaching and execution with the players, too. I mean, these guys couldn't inbound the ball for the last 30-some seconds. Up 9, 17 seconds, up 6. Bad job.
But that feeds into the – because I think for me, especially at college level and programs like Duke, I'm expecting that, hey, coaching will kind of erase some of those ills, and he might have called a timeout to get his guys. I know they called the timeout because, hey, he was about to get the 5 seconds called on him. But I would think that the coach would have just tried to settle his guys down at that point and maybe draw up a play or something to get them settled down.
They couldn't inbounds the ball. So to me, the key to an inbounds play, if they're rushing 2 or rushing 3 and you get to run the sideline, it's height to me. The main thing you have to do is inbound the ball. Mile wash, your biggest, you throw the ball up and get it in. If they get fouled and they miss free throws, that's fine. But the fact that y'all can't get it in bounds, I was like, Shire, get some height in there, make them run down, get it, overlook the press, meet someone in the middle. Simple. Yep. They're running sidelines, tips off the knee, tips off. That was terrible.
Let's get to your boy, Cooper Flag. Did you like the shot that he took at the last shot he took?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I just didn't like the result. So I picked to beat Auburn to win the national championship. I like the shot. I just didn't like the result.
Yeah, came up short, came up flat. It was tired, maybe. I don't know, but it was definitely didn't have his legs under him for the shot.
Do you think he could have been more aggressive in the selection that he chose? Because it seemed like he got pretty committed to the fadeaway early.
But I think the refs were skewing on the lines of letting him play physical. I thought Duke got fouled a couple times.
Yeah.
Within the last 2 minutes, and they were just saying, "Hey, listen, we're not going to be instrumental in this game," which I thought they were by not doing that. So if he took it to the cup, there's a good chance it might have been a play on.
And to your point, and I know Jay Williams, ESPN, brought this up as well. Do you believe that the officiate was lopsided? That, hey, there was 2 different games being called, 2 different halves?
What, did Jay Williams that went to do?
Yeah.
No. They lost.
A few calls I didn't like it, but again, you're not going to hang this on it. Go win the game. But, yeah.
I'm of the thought that I would have liked the refs to have been more consistent. Whichever way they're going to call the game. If you're going to call it tight and stick to the rule of the law, hey, stick to it and call it tight. But if you're going to let them play and call the game loosely, then, hey, that's the way you should be calling it for the entire game.
Yeah, the key loose ball where Coop went for the ball. And the guy's hand, I thought it was a 50-50 ball. They called a foul on Coop. That was a big play. They're physical. They're physical. When Duke was going up, I'm like, yeah, all right, go up strong, but there's a foul there. They let him play on. So I'm saying, like you said, I guess the consistency with me was the same way too. You're gonna let them play. You don't call a foul there for that case then too. So I was like, maybe all these years of Duke bias has come back to haunt them.
Yeah. Whose stock rose during this tournament?
Cooper Flags.
Oh, definitely. I definitely.
I don't know if it rose. I mean, he came out of high school as no one picked.
Yeah, but I know for me, P, I've acknowledged that, hey, he's everybody's number 1 pick, but I wasn't totally sold.
So it's more of a personally it rose for you, not the masses, not the basketball community. Just personally.
Yeah. For me, I felt like the tournament solidified what everybody was saying about Cooper as far as his skill set, how aggressive he could be on the court and stuff like that. You saw that, and you saw some of his leadership qualities come out. His playmaking abilities, which really impressed me during the tournament, was on display. So for me, it's just like, hey, stamp of approval with this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I kind of just had him pegged as the best player in the country going into the tournament. So I will go Clayton Jr. I think, talking NBA. I mean, obviously he's the most outstanding player of the tournament. So, but I think he's probably going from like a second rounder to a first rounder.
Jesus Christ, I hope not.
So,
I mean, yeah, that championship game solidified it for me. Well, I wouldn't go nowhere near that. I mean, I saw him all season, and the amount of open looks that they have for this guy. I mean, if a shooter is going to shoot, and if you're going to give them less than 3 seconds for a closeout, 9 times out of 10. No, I'm going to say 9 times out of 10. Let's just say because it's like 50-something. 5 times out of 10, he's going to hit a 3-point shot. I don't think at all it's going to translate on the next level. But to answer the question, I think his stock did go up.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm like, I'm definitely not buying if I'm a first round. But I don't know who you go to, but
And Hill, I know you gave him the Curry comparison, Seth, to be correct. I know you want to make sure which Curry that I'm talking about. But I think that's it's possible. I think that could be very accurate. But I also think he could be a Van Fleet also. You know what I mean? Like he has to get his ball handling skills, his playmaking skills better. But I think he could be a solid pro.
I thought Proctor hurt his stock.
That's an interesting comparison to those two, because Clayton clearly had a better tournament. Who's a better pro? I probably would go with Proctor.
Yeah, you can handle the ball.
But yeah, I think he did hurt his stock a little bit. I think he'll be okay.
Coop and we'll get to, I guess, Malawash. I've thought all year have raised their stock. I thought if how they officiated Malawachi, he couldn't even get involved in the game. It was I didn't like the officiating. I'll leave it at that. Let them play. And for Cooper Flag, I was like, Dale Brown, go, get out of here, go, young man, leave, get out of this college thing. Yeah, I would say those. So this is gonna be It's going to be one of those drafts, I guess I'm just going to find out, like last year's draft, who these players are.
Yeah, I think this is much better than last year's draft, though.
Yeah?
Cooper Flag alone.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Malawatch, it could go either way. I'll be honest with you. Because he has a long way to go. You see the potential, obviously, but he needs to get better.
What do you guys think about what Broom did during the tournament? Did his stock rise at all for you guys?
Wait.
Same with Cooper. He's the same with Cooper to me. Whatever, what I thought of him going into the tournament is what I thought of him after the tournament was over.
Wasn't a fan. But at the same time, he gets hurt. He's sluggish. I mean, but I'm trying to find out who he would be at the next level, because the kid is a bucket.
Is he like Okafor?
A Mecca?
No.
Oh, yeah. That would be much better than the one he's talking about.
Jaleel?
Yeah.
No.
I got him. Best case Boozer, worst case, I think Hill said it in one of the chats, Drew Gooden.
Yeah.
I worry about his body holding up.
He's hurt like all.
Yeah,
These guys hurt.
And I feel like
conditioning.
Yeah, I don't know. And guys know early on, I was an early fan of his, but between the SEC tournament and this NCAA tournament, it's just I don't know. I'm not quite as sold on him as I was before. Now, fella, I've been looking forward to this topic right here. I think there's a lot of players that we can mention, but I want y'all to give me your 5 best players that don't have an NCAA championship. Of course, they have to have played, in college. So there's no saying Kobe Bryant or Kevin Garnett. No easy outs. They have to have played college ball. I'm gonna start off. Give you one of mine, Shaquille O'Neal.
He did some things right. I think he averaged like 27 and 15 for his last. Yes.
Yeah, I think mine's gonna be heavy '90s probably.
Okay.
So I think like Shaq,
Okay.
Timmy.
Kenny Anderson,
Okay.
Penny Hardaway.
No Tim Duncan.
He's not gonna make this. Probably Kevin Durant, Michael Beasley. And I'm leaving out. I know I'm leaving out a whole bunch of.
Yeah, I'll
like
give
Weber. Like it's. I could probably give you 20 off
Weber, Jalen,
Chris Jackson,
Jawan, Chris Jackson. I'll give you Glenn Robinson. Believe it or not, I'll give you Lionel Simmons. Check the accolades. My guy did his thing.
Nah, I'm with you on that L train.
Hank Gathers did his thing. Man.
Sean Elliott never won a chip, right? Arizona.
No, I don't think it was there.
I just remember, like, Glenn Rice and Sean Elliott, for a moment, it was like, for like a year, that was like a really big deal. Like, you know.
For me, give me Shaq, Weber, KD, Penny, and Steph. That's my starting five.
That's crazy. Steph was even on my radar. I mean, I think Steph and Duncan, to me, it's more like their pro careers. College, that was cool on them. Yeah. No, they were great plays in college. You know, they didn't win, but you know what I'm talking about.
Lonzo Mourning.
And Mutombo.
And Mutombo.
Oh, my God. And Iverson.
Yeah, Iverson.
Jeez.
Harold Miner.
Yeah? Oh, that was my guy.
Yeah, it's
Jimmy Jackson.
JJ. Big Dog's up there.
Yeah, Big Dog.
He took all the awards that year. I'm like, yo, nobody from Michigan got.
He was crazy. It was crazy. He's almost like KD and Beasley on steroids.
Yeah.
He was just like, they might give you 25 and 10. He's like 30 and 12.
Yeah,
that's small
nuts.
forward. Like, it's
Nuts.
crazy. He was, Glenn Robinson was, and he was doing it against top-notch competition. Like, the Big Ten was a problem back then. So it's not like he was just doing it at some off-brand conference.
Lamar Odom.
Yeah, Rhode Island on the low.
Steph Marbury.
See, I think it was the lineage of the whole G-Tech thing.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, I'm with you. I remember in high school, we got tickets to Georgia Tech, and I was just so disappointed because it was Travis Best. Travis Best was a good player, but I'm just like, damn. A couple years earlier, I could have got to see Kenny Anderson at the Garden.
Yeah.
So when you say that, like, anything from Georgia Tech afterwards, it's like, it's cool.
Light.
But it ain't Kenny.
Light.
Like, it ain't the KA train. There you go, Park, baby.
And I'll say last, which I wasn't a fan of whatsoever, I'll say Calvin Chaney, reluctantly.
Yeah,
He's like, to me, like, not however you want to measure, but he's like a Tim Duncan. Personally, I didn't like watching them play. But
At all.
But their effectiveness, yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Billy Owens, too.
Okay. Sounds like we had a nice.
Sounds like we does this.
Yeah. Hey, hit us up on social media. Let us know what you think. Who are your 5 best players without a NCAA championship? Hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification so you know when the next video is coming up. Don't forget to like and subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast. And you can hit us up directly at WeNeeda5th@gmail.com. Now we're going to get to the professionals. NBA.
Where they pay to, they pay to play in college.
Pay to
too
play in
now.
college now, right?
Big news in the NBA. Your boy Mike Malone. 10 years with the Denver Nuggets, and it's a wrap. Yes, sir. Fired him with, less than 9 games to go in the season. First, are you guys surprised by the fire? Did you guys see this coming? Because I know I didn't see it coming.
No. I don't think anyone, unless you own the team, I don't think anyone knew this was coming.
Calvin fired him? And then the GM fired Calvin?
No, it looks like ownership fired both.
Both of them?
It felt like it happened to, like,
Right.
yeah,
both at the same time. It from what I've been reading and whatnot, it seems like there was a power struggle between the coach and the GM. Which we'll call it. GM wanted him to play certain players. Coach was coming from the perspective of, hey, y'all need to get. There was a sense that the coach was coming from a sense of, hey, why did y'all pay Jamal Murray the amount of money that y'all did, and how come y'all haven't put another all-star or all-star with Joker? And do y'all realize that, hey, he hasn't played with an all-star at all in his career, and he's playing his best basketball now. And meanwhile, the GM is saying, hey, play some of these younger guys and whatnot, and don't worry about why we gave Jamal Murray a 4.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of this is hearsay. Not saying that might be accurate. I don't know, because, people could put whatever narrative they want. But what I do know, that this is the only championship in Denver Nugget history. So if there's a conflict between the coach and the GM, if it's the irreconcilable difference, I would get rid of one of them, not both. So I think they both did a great job, right? Mike Malone did a great job coaching his team. Okay, this Joker, you only have one All-Star. Well, he won a championship with that one All-Star. So to me, that's a good job.
No, he hasn't played with an All-Star at all.
That's fine. But what I'm saying is, in the era of, we're just coming off the era of super teams, but most championship contenders have 2 All-Stars. Mm-hmm. He won a championship with 1. So therefore, good coaching job.
Mm-hmm.
Arguably should be 2 because they don't know what they're doing.
Jamal Murray just helps.
Yeah,
he always gets hurt around that. He doesn't play enough games or whatever. Jamal Murray's an all-star talent.
Right.
And,
yeah, go ahead, Pete.
And Booth, it's funny because I look at him, I remember him as a player, so it just like blows my mind. Cause,
same way I was going to bring him up right there.
That being said, did a good job. Again, he did a good enough job to win a championship.
Whether it's luck or not, let's just say they didn't win a championship, you have Joker. That's what, to me, Booth is safe. Mike Malone has a championship. You feel like, to me, it's just whoever writes the checks is going to make the decision. If you feel the youth movement is what they want to do, Mike has to take it on the chin, pause. But Mike Malone's a good coach. Yeah. He still should be there. But, he's not the boss. So, yeah, that's wrong. If they want you to pay the youth movement, Mike's probably saying you're getting pressure from the outside looking in about the organization over there in Oklahoma City. No one's like that. And you're probably feeling a little pressure from what the youth movement has done in Minnesota. You have a better record. You know what I mean? All right. I think watching OKC and then watching the way that, I think it was still salty taste the way Minnesota demolished them last year. So they were thinking that Braun and these younger talents, which they have good young talent. They have a great all-time center, an all-star caliber point guard. 2 guard, they shouldn't got rid of Caldwell Pope. They should have got rid of Brown. It was a nice mix of elderly players and what you call them. So if that youth movement told you to push out some of these older players, this is what you got, and you have to live with it. But you can't tell the owner that. I think all I can go on is that, from what I see, is that Malone should still be there. I said it before, he should probably go house hunting in Arizona because he's going to get a job quickly. All these guys. What's the other one? Memphis? I mean, so, I don't know.
Gotcha. Okay. What you call it? And that leads me to another topic. Most overrated coaches win a championship. My favorite, Coach Bud for this category. And right there with him 1A and 1B, that would be Doc Rivers.
Okay.
Okay, that's where I'm at. Okay, yeah, and yeah, they're like my top two contenders for that right there.
Yeah, I don't think anything. I think if you win a championship, I don't know how overrated you could be personally, but would you say those guys are more overrated than Vogel or Mike Malone? Because they all have championships, so I don't.
For me, I think it's especially Doc. I think Doc is, for some reason or another, has this mystique about him that he's like the all-time great of coaching, and it's like, where's the beef? Like, I don't see any of that substance when I start looking at records and stuff like that. And something that we talked about off air is he's never coached a team without a Hall of Famer. Even now. Like, hey, Damon and Giannis are going to be Hall of Famers. And you could say his weakest team only had one Hall of Famer, Tracy McGrady. Boo-hoo. You know what I mean? Like, and yeah.
But I feel you can say that about a majority of championship coaches. Like Vogel, you have 2 of the top 75 players. That's how you win a championship.
I feel it. But my thing is, with the mystique around Doc and the talent that he's had available, I would expect a little bit more consistency in high-level competition. And I wouldn't expect you to be the leading coach of we're up 3-1 and we're going to lose this.
So I guess it's more perception because I look at Doc Rivers like I look at Mike Malone, like I look at Vogel. I don't put him on a pedestal. I put him in a room with all the other coaches that won one championship.
You think I'm bugging?
I'm thinking of no. I mean, the perception of Doc Rivers is that he is like a coaching genius. I'm not saying that. I don't feel that way. But outside, they do, and I think it's starting to diminish now. But the guy could just be announcing on an off season, and he's up for a head coaching job. So I think he's a quintessential person who they feel is possibly the most overrated. I think it's a lot because of the talent he's had and the failures that he's, you can have him coincide with him. But I don't know, because I think to much successful coaches, there's some sense of overrated there. Like I can think of one to me who I don't feel is that like Pat Riley. You know what I mean? When he had the Laker teams. And then what he did with the Knicks is, to me, is probably one of more impressive than what he did with the Lakers. And then you have Phil Jackson, who is a guru and one of the greatest they filled with championships. And I think what he did with the Knicks was a disaster.
Look at that. Look at his rosters. Like you have, with the Lakers, you have 2 of the top 10 players ever. So, and it's tough because you don't want to take championships away from somebody.
No, right.
Because Del Harris had the same 2 guys.
Right, absolutely.
But you had 2 of the top 10 players of all time. And then you had 2 of the top 50. We'll say it was Jordan and Scott. Well, 3 of the top 50, or 3 of the top 75, whatever Warren was. So,
And then you went to New York and like you never coached in your life.
Yeah.
So that's why I can say, like, Philip there is overrated. But then you look at his resume, it's like, how? You're an idiot by saying that.
The only reason why I think Phil will probably get more of a pass when it comes to coaching is when he was in New York, he was trying to do it from the GM's chair.
Stupid.
And instead of actually coaching. You know what I mean? He was trying to do it via the GM's chair through some puppet mastery. And whatchamacallit. And so he can always say, hey, I never had my butt in the coach's chair.
He was both, right?
Huh?
Was he both?
I don't know if
just
he
GM only.
Knicks, yeah.
GM and president.
Yeah, right.
What he was doing was hiring coaches that
So
were
using his that's what I'm saying. That's
that's
what
why
I
I
have
say
it.
puppet mastery.
Triangle's a little different. If you don't have Jordan
Yeah,
and
like he was.
Kobe. Jordan and Kobe makes your triangle look a little bit better.
So who was his coaches? Woodson?
I think
Maybe Larry Brown. I don't know.
I think Fisher was there at one point, right?
He was there.
Whatchamacallit?
He did have Fish. That was his guy.
It was
But
I think there was another player coach.
it's so fluid because I look at Larry Brown and we talk, so you know how I feel about that Pistons team. Oof, great job, Larry Brown. Great job. So you say, oh, that's a great coach. He could coach. He uses minimal talent. He takes them to the championship. But you lose in the Olympics. You have LeBron, Carmelo, Dwayne Wade. So is Larry Brown overrated?
I think for Larry Brown, I would put him in that realm of he's a victim of his own success, and especially with that Olympic team, because he came into it with old school sensibilities.
But do you put him with Doc Rivers?
More than likely, yeah.
Because I'm just saying, you had LeBron, Carmelo, and Dwayne Wade. He couldn't win. I don't care how young they were, because they were good off rip. They were all-star players coming through the door.
The only thing that might save Larry Brown in comparing him to Doc is, in a sense, what he did in Detroit, and then also, hey, he did something similar in Philadelphia with a lesser talented team with AI getting them to the final. He got
the MVP of the league on this. He had the MVP of the league.
But whatchamacallit, my point with Doc in our conversation yesterday was like, hey, after you achieve success, I don't see it at all again. Like, you don't get past the second round after the championship.
Where did Larry Brown coach after Detroit? I don't remember his career.
No, I'm saying, whatchamacallit, I'm saying, hey, with Larry Brown, he took AI to the finals.
That was before Detroit, though.
That's what I'm saying, Pete. Then when he got to Detroit, a team that wasn't talented to your point.
I didn't like him, but they had talent.
Iverson by himself.
Iverson by himself.
And then whatchamacallit, hey, you go to Detroit and you're able to replicate what you did in Philadelphia and take it up a notch. Doc doesn't have that on his resume.
Now, Iverson was MVP. Wasn't Embiid MVP?
Yeah.
Yeah. Doc's bad.
You know what I mean? So,
I think Doc's a good. I mean, personally, I think Doc's a good coach. He's had some tough breaks, granted.
I think he's Embiid no finals, right? No.
He hasn't gotten past the second round. They don't get to the conference finals. That's what I'm saying. Like, hey, Doc, after he was with Boston, he doesn't get to the conference finals at all.
And that's my thing with Larry Brown. I just don't remember after Detroit. I understand what you're saying with Philly, but after Detroit, I don't remember Larry Brown's career.
No.
He might have got to the. I just don't remember. Like, it's almost like after Detroit, his career stopped. That's all.
Interesting.
We went to Memphis. But that was recently, though, right? Him and Rashid went to Memphis.
Oh, that's a whole different story. Shout out to my man Penny, man. That's
who might be end up getting Mikey right through the portal. We'll talk about that later.
Again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully that works out for both of them.
Talk about going back. Your man Luka Doncic went back to Dallas. Hit him with 45 to 4-5. I think the most points in a game from a player going back to a former team. Any thoughts on that? Any thoughts on the Lakers and how they looking right now?
The Lakers are looking good. I mean, the comeback game, that's cool. I don't really care. But the Lakers are looking like, I mean, sometimes you have to step back. The team has LeBron James, Luka Doncic. Pretty good. Pretty good. And Austin Reeves has stepped up his game, actually. That's
backcourt.
He stepped up.
Yeah, Lakers, listen.
I like Rui's playing.
The Lakers had a hell of a talented team. Now, most we disagree with, I guess, but I said they were the most talented team in the league. I guess finally they're putting it together. Dallas is gonna be rough. Because it looks like in the beginning, Clay made the right decision. Now Golden State is in a better position than Dallas, right? Dallas is in a playing game. AD was helping some of the success of the Lakers. He was healthy this year too. Mm-hmm. He's probably gonna be outside looking in. This is gonna be. I mean,
and AD just had a triple-double last night.
Monster game. Missed a quadruple by 3 blocks.
Yeah.
I Dallas was going for it now, and already they pretty much lost a year, or maybe 2, because who knows when Kyrie's going to come back.
Yeah.
So,
all right,
it's gonna be.
They were in win now mode, but now they're not.
Nico, this gonna be rough for a long time.
Next 2 years.
To that point, though, considering what's happening in Phoenix, if you're Dallas, do you go after KD?
With what?
With anything. I mean,
you need something. You need salary and you need talent.
You got picks and you got whatchamacallit, and you can get rid of.
If I'm Phoenix, though, I'm actually not looking for talent. If Dallas got picks, I'm looking out. Phoenix needs to blow it up totally. Done. I'm looking to start fresh. They're in such a conundrum. If I can give you KD for the 1, I do it. I give you KD and Booker for Cooper Flag. I give you Beal too for Flag.
And I was thinking that's the best case scenario. Well, not that best case scenario. Phoenix just wins the lottery.
They have to trade these ways to get. I mean,
they're in the lottery.
Yeah,
right?
But winning probability probably not. But yeah, that would be the best case you get.
If you believe in that probability thing, cool. Easter Bunny, Christmas, the lottery. They'll go where they want him to go. God damn it! But,
let's just say they don't with percentages. He wants to go back, go home. I guess Baltimore, D.C. is not a home. Do you say, listen,
no, well,
go home. We'll trade you number 1 pick Washington for Cooper Flag. No. We'll give you Durant. You don't want Durant for Cooper?
Washington will be dumber than I thought.
Hold on. If I give you
KD
and Booker for the number 1 pick.
No, because you know why? Then I would be you. I would be Phoenix.
You got Saw.
Okay, I got Richards.
You got Saw. You got Poole.
You got Allen.
I think you got Middleton.
Middleton? I would be you? No.
Middleton? Yo.
Oh, my God.
Booker and KD is not worth the number 1 pick? Yes, they are. Yeah,
yes.
Can we say yes, they are?
Yes.
Okay.
But I see the results, though.
No.
That would
Coaching,
be crazy.
Atmosphere, they need, you know what I mean? Like, as if Washington's a better atmosphere. That's what I would, it would be a super fire sale. Try to get to the number 1 pick.
Wait, you have Booker and KD. How are you not winning? I don't know. You take them. No, I'm looking at it not working.
Wow.
It's crazy to say that, but I'd rather just start fresh and just give me Cooper Flag. I'll build it out from there.
And see, I'm coming from the point of I don't want to do that to KD and Book because I think Washington is a terrible franchise.
They're terrible down there in Phoenix.
But I think whatever Phoenix is,
better weather.
Washington is that on steroids.
I don't know.
And they've been that for longer, guys. Like, seriously, the last time they were respectable was when Michael Jordan was
if Jordan could go there, that was my next thing. If Jordan could go there.
No, they weren't respectable with Jordan.
but if Jordan could go there for management.
And but that was like the closest they came to respectability in the last 20 years.
But it makes sense because, one, let's just go over it. If Jordan can go there, they can go there. 2, Carmelo is seriously looking into ownership in Washington, and KD should be looking into it too. They're both from there, but they're not. So that's some enticing.
So you telling Melo to come out of retirement too?
No, for ownership. He wants to own it. He wants to be an owner.
I mean, he could do the Michael Jordan thing where
he just said, I want to be an owner, and he said, I think I have an eye for talent. Like, he wants to be for like player personnel as well. So this is the transition these guys should be looking at anyway. I mean, Book seems like he's been there forever. He's like 27, 28.
Yeah,
So,
like
he has a lot more career left. Durant, no.
yeah, that's the thing. I would have a hard time trading Devin Booker from Phoenix.
I don't think that's the plan at all. I think Kevin Durant is the plan, and hey, you don't get rid of Bill because he has the no trade clause.
No,
and whatnot.
that means he has to agree with it.
Mm-hmm.
So that means I'm trying.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah.
out. Yo, where do you want to go?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think they were trying during the season.
Try harder.
And whatnot. And
Where do you like? Where he wants to be a Heat?
Because I almost would even contemplate keeping KD and Booker if I could get something back valuable for Bradley Beal. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I think you're on the same wavelength. You just say, "Oh, get rid of KD" because you feel like you can't get rid of Bradley Beal.
Yeah.
But if I could get rid of Bradley Beal and get draft picks, whatever, like in my,
I agree
like,
with that.
Like Hilly said, KD and Booker's worth more than Cooper Flag, bro. But the results are the results, you know.
That's crazy. Like, no, I don't want that. That should be an automatic no. And it's automatic no the other way.
If I'm watching, I'm good. I'm good. I'm gonna see where the great white hype takes me, man. I'm gonna see what.
Where's that $27 million guaranteed? They said Durant's looking for 180. Is that out there?
And that's another thing.
Is that there?
KD.
I'm not worth it.
It's only a matter of time till he's on his last leg, and I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just he's what. He's over 35.
Yeah, 36.
36 years. I'm not mortgaging a possible All-NBA, a 10-time All-NBA player in Cooper Flag for a guy at best will give me 3 years. Hopefully.
Age 39, you paying him 60 per. I mean, he's still cooking right now. He keeps his body well.
Know what the thing that messes it up for at least the owners and other teams is the example LeBron is setting. As far as, hey, what's possible in your later 30s.
Somebody's going to get caught holding the bag. Mm-hmm. Oh, he's going to be 40. That's okay. No, 40. He's going to be done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. KD, I acquire KD if I think I'm winning the chip. That's it. If I plan on winning the chip the very next year, then I'll go after KD. He's supposed to push us over the top.
2 places or 3 that there might be some interest. I don't know why he would want to try to kick the tires for the Clippers, but being no. I think it's 4. Yeah, Clippers was 1, Knicks was 2. I don't know how that happens. OKC has the cachet and the picks to make that deal work. And he said he wouldn't mind playing in Minnesota. How do you get that in Minnesota? I don't know. Julius Randle is having a good year. You send over the point guard.
For some reason, I like the Clippers.
Hey, they said that's a place for him. Clippers having a good year.
Yeah, but I don't think they could win it all. I think KD may tip the scales.
I don't know. Where do you think would be the ideal fit for Kevin Durant as a player? Best spot for him to land.
Crazy thing is, he's such a good player. He's such a complete player.
Mm-hmm.
He could just drop him in.
He's Weapon X.
I mean, we saw it with Golden State.
Because you can say Golden State again.
Usually people say how many ball. Oh, there's too many balls. Too many. It's only one ball going around. There's not enough ball. Oh no, it is. It's only one. Like for every other team. Like every team has one basketball, and he fit in seamlessly.
Because the Knicks are hurting for a 2 guard, and like I said, he's Weapon X. He wouldn't even care about having 2 guard because you have him and Brunson just isn't scoring. Is what you would have to give up. See, the Knicks need him as an addition. That's why I don't know how that. You take anything from that Knicks team, it's bad because OG he needs to stay on the Knicks, and Bridges needs to stay there.
And the way the coaches, he can't develop young talent. Doesn't like to use his bench, so you only have half a team to work with.
Well, you're getting good minutes now from Landry. Payne has seemed to crack it. Mitch is coming back. Precious is playing well. Like, the Knicks need more offense because they're too reliant on Cat and what you call them, or run better offensive sets because they have play like Bridges play mid-range game is probably top 5. OG is to me a Swiss Army on a low level range. He can do everything good. They have it. I don't know. I guess that's why I had them coming out the East. But you add KD to that mix, Knicks championship team.
You got the Knicks coming out the East.
I picked the Knicks to win the East. It seems like their second round matchup would be the Celtics. But first, again, let's get by Detroit.
Yeah.
And that's Cade. I do need to apologize. You're nice, my guy. You seem to be a possible perennial all-star. And I forget he's 6'9".
But you was on Kate early?
No, I was on Jalen Green, actually. I said it's better. Who's having a great year himself. But Cade Cunningham is the truth.
Jalen Green arguably should have been an all-star.
Yeah.
All right, fellas, let's talk about awards. It's the end of the season. Who's your MVP?
SGA.
Mm-hmm.
SGA.
SGA, you got that.
Okay. Defensive Player of the Year.
Damn it, Wemby.
It's going to be a wing, right?
Maybe
More than likely.
Maybe Dyson in Atlanta. But the team is so bad. I almost don't want to give it to someone on a sub 500 team.
Can you say Draymond?
I'll probably go Lou Dort. I think he's underrated. I think he's probably one of the best on the ball defenders in the league. I'll probably go Lou Dort.
Who you got, Hell?
It's so easy. I think it'd be cheap, but I'm probably gonna go with. Is that probably McDaniel?
Well, I'm going Draymond. Most improved player.
This means you weren't good. Cade.
Okay.
I think he made the biggest jump.
Yeah. Okay.
Jalen Green actually.
Cade, Jalen.
Get considered, but Cade, if he was talking most improved by definition, not only did he improve, he improved his team. The franchise is improved.
Why not Shea?
Shea.
I don't care if they're great. They got greater.
For me, I'm used to this for Shea. Like I thought he was this last year.
I think I think
he was
better.
MVP last year.
Yeah.
So this is more consistent to me. Like I won't get into that again.
I don't mind the tick because I think he's like hit Nirvana stage now. Like it's nothing that could be done to stop that guy. Like why not? It won't go there, but
J-Dub, I think.
Maybe that might be it.
To me, it's Cade. I'm just saying other people get considered.
What about Evan Mobley?
Could be there too.
Yeah.
Could go there. Definitely could go Evan Mobley.
I just think Cade, out of all these guys, had the biggest jump.
Detroit's in the playoffs.
Or would you consider Austin Reeves?
Could.
Yeah.
Could. Definitely. Cade's more likely, yeah.
I think so too. Sixth man of the year.
Can Norman Powell qualify? I don't know how to. Oh, well, that's him. I think he could have been an all-star.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anybody else? I feel like there's somebody else that we should be considering for sixth man. It's right on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah, I think defensive play is like the only one I have to really think about. Like SJ for MVP, Cade for most improved, Norman Powell for sixth man. Yeah, I'm okay with those.
Okay. Hey guys, hit us up on social media let us know what you guys think. Who do you have for MVP? Who do you have for Defensive Player of the Year? Who do you have for Most Improved? Who do you have for Sixth Man? Hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit that notification button so you know when the next video is coming out. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to your podcast. And you can hit us up directly at WeNeeda5th@gmail.com. Fellas, what's on the radar?
My apologies to you guys. Roy. This was on the radar. My man, Stephon Castle, Rookie of the Year. Well,
we didn't even mention that.
well, I think well deserved. He's
Yeah, I think he surprised a lot of people this year. It's just unfortunate Wemby wasn't able to stay healthy. Hope he gets healthy. Wishing him well. But
NFL draft, actually. I've been getting into the mock 4.0s and mock 5.0s.
TM. Tatario.
Yeah, I want to see where Shador lands. It looks like the Saints might be a landing spot now because I think Derek Carr might have missed the season. Yeah. So I think the Saints. He could go earlier, but
what pick is the Saints?
Like 9.
So you don't think Cleveland will take him?
It's not projected.
I've been listening to all the 4.0s and mock draft. It seems like it's between Carter and
Hunter.
And Hunter at this point.
Ooh.
And the Giants will get whoever's left at number 3.
Wow. So one is who? Mac?
Ward.
Ward. Cam Ward.
That seems to be like a lock at this point. So it's going to be interesting to see what those guys go. Unfortunately, I don't think none of those guys are going to teams I really want to watch. But I'll tune in just to watch their progress.
Tatario and CD. McMillan and CD.
I'm not a McMillan. I saw McMillan.
McMillan guy.
He's tall.
Yes, I'm there for that.
I'm not buying it. I think Travis Hunter's a better wide receiver, clearly, than him.
Gentry, Chicago Bears.
I think they got to go into the Raiders, probably.
Where would y'all like to see Shador go? I know we totally getting off the radar.
You know what?
Somewhere with a good offensive line, right out the gate. I want to put him on the team. I've seen enough in Colorado that I want to be successful.
Yeah, I wouldn't want the Giants actually, because again, being biased, I get to see all his games. Yeah, I want Shador to go to the Giants.
Hill?
Anywhere with a good O-line.
Oh man,
I like to see greatness.
It's the first time for everything.
Yeah.
What's on my radar? Viola Davis, new movie, G20.
Saw it.
It's out. You liked it?
No. No.
Okay.
Seems a little.
No, at all.
The casting seems a little odd.
At all. Yeah. At all. Got my man Homelander in there. On the boys. No. What's the Gerard Butlers and the what are those things?
Oh, I know.
Every version of that.
Has Fallen?
Fallen, yeah. All of those. Well, Olympia, all of those. London is same ilk. Okay. Highly unlikely. No, I'll pass. And also, I mean, anything with Anthony Anderson, I'm out. Wow. I can't do it. Yeah,
it sounds like casting is a little.
I stay away from it.
Anthony Anderson.
I run the other way. Yeah.
No, I like Blackish. I like him as an actor, but in that genre, I don't know. I don't see Anthony Anderson. Comic relief type of thing, or he's serious?
He's serious. Which is, I'm good. I ain't like the movie at all. She's in great shape though. It's not her fault. It's not her Homelander's fault, but it's not good.
Anything else you guys checking for?
Black Mirror is back. That's why I'm back.
Oh, definitely check out.
And Karma, Korean thrillers.
Okay. Hey,
South Korean thrillers. South.
To all our fifths out there, stay safe. Yeah.